So, Adam,
Yes,
I
Tim.
have to make sure.
Okay.
Please tell me you watched the show this weekend.
What show? I mean, I watched Doctor Who this week. It was the season finale. Great show. Freaking loved it, man.
Should have been the series finale. That show needs to end. Anyway,
you.
I'm talking about AEW Revolution.
Oh, that. Yeah, totally watched it. Yeah. I mean, it was
good,
okay.
Good. Okay, good. I'm glad you watched it because it's very important you watched it so you know when I say, and still. Wait. Hold on a second. Oh.
Yeah?
Oh.
What?
My bad. And new predictions champion.
No, you're saying it wrong. You're supposed to say it, and new. Tim, how did you do that?
I have my methods.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. And your new predictions champion, I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
The former predictions champion.
And can I just say, it's about fucking time?
Yeah, it is. It totally is. I finally had to wrestle that away from you. And
by the way, in the tradition of how Adam wins or retains the predictions championship when he has it, he won by getting a question right in a tie.
Yep. Yes.
It literally came down to the main event. We both have Chris Jericho to retain. He retains. I retain my championship because I said no championships will change hands. Adam has it. One championship will change hands, even though he predicted no championships would change hands.
I was hedging my bets on that one. That's the reason I chose one.
And it was correct. You got lucky. But it's about fucking time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm taking that championship back this weekend because it's an Elimination Chamber. Oh, and by the way, we've already done our predictions because, well, we don't care.
We care as much as WWE cares at promoting this show.
Yeah. Okay, I just watched Wrestle Talk's predictions for Elimination Chamber, and when they recorded it, only 3 matches were confirmed.
They recorded it just a couple days ago.
Yep, I think the matches on the card are outside. Well, I think they did confirm Aleister Black and AJ Styles for sure.
Okay.
But you know what? Regardless of it is, WWE doesn't really care because they're missing something very important on this show.
2 specific championships?
Yeah, because they're both on fucking part-timers.
I know. Look. Okay.
It literally just shows that the most important championship in WWE right now is the Raw Women's Championship.
Yes. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing.
No, in the mind.
But like,
it's just going to show that has the hottest angle in WWE right now with Baszler and Becky, which, oh my God, how do they even think that we're going to think Baszler's not going to win?
I don't know. I mean, it makes the most sense to have that matchup happen.
Especially since they've been building it.
I don't like the fact that they're really... We've always said that the Elimination Chamber should be used as whatever show didn't win the Royal Rumble. You know, if Raw won the Rumble, then SmackDown is doing their number 1 contender in the Chamber. Okay. But that's not what they're doing.
Nope. They just handed it to Reigns.
They're just like, hey, Reigns, here you go. Here's another shot. You're like, wait, why does he get a shot at this?
I know.
He's just been in a terrible feud with Baron Corbin.
So, funny little thing. I was talking to you before we recorded about reinstalling Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 on like PC, and I relaunched a whole like men's and women's champion company. So I went and stole a bunch of key people from different companies.
What?
And yes, I stole Moxley in AEW.
No.
I stole Reigns and Seth from WWE.
Okay.
And yes, I put them back together in a stable called Saberus. And Seth Rollins is going by his indie name as Tyler Black.
Okay.
John Moxley is obviously John Moxley. And I didn't like the use of Joe Anoa for there. It just didn't seem that like a good ring name.
Okay.
So I just said I'm gonna call him Reigns.
Just Reigns.
He's not Roman Reigns. He's just Reigns.
Oh, okay. That's a thing.
Take that, WWE.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we don't really care, so we're not going to take up time on this to go over a show that WWE doesn't really give a fuck about.
I know.
And we really can see how much Vince cares because he brought on Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff to help with creative processes, fired one of them in the fall, and now is consistently, manhandedly going through all of Paul Heyman guys who he wants to push, and if they don't meet a certain, I don't know, feature, they don't get pushed. They get buried.
It is really sad that has become kind of an obvious thing.
Yep.
And, like, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be a thing at all. And I also feel that Vince doesn't seem to understand. Like, Vince is so old school. Old school wrestling in the U.S. is two big men get in the ring and hammer on each other for 10, 15 minutes until someone's the winner. There's a ton of rest holds, and that's about it. Well, the problem is we have the generations that have come since, like, really, since 2000, really, is a much leaner, more athletic wrestler. And he doesn't seem to understand what to do with that. He has no idea what to do with with guys who are basically cruiserweights. Like, just has no idea how to handle them.
Nope.
It's like, let them do their flippy shit, and the fans eat it up because it's crazy action.
Yeah.
And people have found that two big hosses pounding on each other isn't that exciting anymore.
Not with what most big men and how they wrestle.
Right.
Like, if you put the Keith Lee and Diver Kojak on the main roster, it would never have been as good as it was at TakeOver.
No.
Because Vince wouldn't have let them do half the shit. Because, like, oh, you're two big men. You can't be doing that shit. A big man do a hurricanrana. You can't do that. That's not what big men do.
A big man do
big boots.
A moonsault? No, that's not a thing.
Big men do boots. Boots.
Yep. The taller you are, the more apt you are to do a big boot.
You have to do a big boot. I'm sorry.
It's really sad that all they've really done, it's like, we had Sid, big boot guy. Undertaker, big boot guy. Kane, big boot guy. Kevin Nash, big boot guy. Braun Strowman. Literally every big man that has come into WWE suddenly has, like, one of their go-to moves is a big boot. I'm sorry, if this was in any way real, yeah.
And a choke slam, most likely.
Yes, and a choke slam of some sort. If this was in any way a little bit more quote-unquote real wrestling, anybody getting in the ring is going to be like, okay, so I know that at some point he's going to try to hit me with this big boot. I have to figure out a way to not get hit with it. And the worst part is 90% of them are an Irish whip to the rope, and then the person just holds their foot up in the air, and I'm like, I'm going to try to slide under that.
Here's an idea. How about you go, when they do the big boot, you do a drop kick to their other leg.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio was a great example of people that did that.
Yep. So we're not going to, as we've been saying, we're not going to go over Elimination Chamber, but we are going to go over AEW Revolution.
Which was a total revolution in pay-per-views. This was, honestly, AEW is making me excited. Like, a couple years ago, New Japan made me excited about pro wrestling again.
Yeah.
AEW has filled, I won't say filled that void, but they've given me a US-based company that I am excited about pro wrestling with.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, if I have the funds, I may try to actually get Double or Nothing this time around. But we'll see how the funds are going with my job and everything. But at some point, I definitely will be planning on making sure I had the funds available for All Out.
Yes.
For sure, if I don't get Double or Nothing. But I will be hoping to get Double or Nothing. Okay, so we're going to go from the pre-show all the way up to the main event.
Are we even going with the dark match?
What dark match?
The women's tag team match?
I didn't even realize they even had a dark match.
Yeah, it's recorded for AEW Dark.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Ah.
So no.
Okay, we will skip past that match then.
Because I didn't even know it existed. And so.
Man.
All right, so the pre-show, the buy-in as they call it.
Yes.
On AEW. Pretty solid match between SoCal Uncensored versus the Dark Order. We were correct with the Dark Order picking up the win.
Yes.
A little story elements before the match where SCU tells Christopher Daniels to stay in the back because they just don't know if they can trust the guy.
I actually I'm enjoying this storyline with SCU, not breaking up, but obviously being like, Chris, we can't trust you right now. We found, they haven't directly said it to him, but they're like, we found the mask in your gear. What's going on with that? Can we trust you? Well, at the same time, Christopher Daniels just been like, I don't know how to deal with all this stress. My bros are turning their back on me. This past week, he finally had a sit-down talk with Orange Cassidy. Orange never said a single word, just handed him a pair of sunglasses. And they, immediately Christopher was just like, this is better. This is better. I should also get a jean jacket. And Cassidy just kind of starts to look over at him, and that's about it. And he's like, nope, you're right. Take things as they come along. It's okay.
So, it was a good match. We predicted the Dark Order would win.
Yeah.
And then, post-match, they beat up SCU. And then, all of a sudden, the Dark Order's music plays. And then, they all stop and presume a salute, in a sense. And then, a person with a robe comes out. The Exalted One.
Oh.
It's whipped off. Obviously, it's Christopher Daniels, but not revealing he's the Exalted One, that he's just playing mind games, jumps in the ring, helps clear the ring of the Dark Order.
That was a really smart move on their behalf. Yeah. Like, for AEW to be like, hey, we're going to tease the Exalted One showing up after this match. But it's not going to be the Exalted One. Even better is the fact that so many fans were saying that it was Christopher Daniels. And to have him come out and be like, yeah, I'm the Exalted One. No, I'm not. I'm here to help my bros.
Yeah. Which actually does tie into, because at midnight, after Matt Hardy mentioned he'd be putting a video up of something from the Throne about his contract, Evil Uno also tweeted, he draws near.
Yes. Also, there was another thing that was picked up in that I think it's that tweet or another one with Evil Uno, and he has a couple of pictures on the wall behind him and one on the bookshelf. The one on the bookshelf, if you zoom in, is Matt Hardy.
So,
even
interesting.
better, even better over all of this entire thing. I'm sorry, I got to break the news now. Matt Hardy, AEW confirmed. We saw this. We called this.
Yeah.
I don't know if a deal has been inked or not, but the Bucks of Young showed up at the Hardy compound.
Bucks of Youth.
The Bucks of Youth. During the latest episode of Free the Delete.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens when he shows up and all that. But it was a good little teaser. It was an excellent use of the buy-in to get people interested in the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If you weren't really sure, it was a good matchup. It was a nice little use of that. Something WWE needs to learn how to use their pre-show for.
Also, another thing that I noticed during this pay-per-view overall, very few promos.
Yeah.
And what was used for promos and, backstage segments felt organic. It felt like it was adding to the show instead of being like, all right, now we're going to go over here and check out what's going on behind door number 4. You're like, but you only told me there was 2 doors. Why is there a 4th door now? What about what's behind door 3? I don't get this.
Yeah, exactly. So, the pre-show, the buy-in, we start with Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes.
Oh.
In an excellent showing from Jake Hager.
Yeah.
Though his standing MMA finisher submission move is dumb. It looks terrible.
I will say that it's not clunky, but it does come across as being very... what's the word I want to use here?
It's not a very...
it doesn't feel
visuals,
natural in a wrestling ring.
Well, no, it can be done if you dressed it up, but it doesn't have a visual appeal to it.
Right.
Now, if he's going against someone like a Darby Allin and he locks in, he could literally hang him there.
Yes.
That would be a great thing. But because he's doing it against taller people, it doesn't really look that good.
But at the same time, it's a triangle hold. Like, it's real.
It's real, but he's got to figure out a way to dress it up to sell it.
Yeah, I feel that putting him against somebody smaller will make it seem even more effective. And I'm not saying much smaller. I'm talking like Jake is how tall?
He's like 6'5", 6'6", or something like that. Maybe 6'3", but I doubt it. I think he's a little bit
6'7"
than that. Oh, he is 6'7".
Yeah. So put him in the ring with somebody who's 6 feet, even. That extra 7 inches will allow the person to be just on their tippy toes.
Oh no, he can really just pick him up.
Yeah. Oh, someone Pac's height. He'd literally just lift them.
Yeah, and it's over.
Yeah.
But he's definitely got to figure out a way to sell the move so it looks good.
Yeah.
Which I think he will eventually. It's just, we'll see. But it was a good match. They definitely used
I like the fact that
wife.
You're downplaying the match. It was a good match. It was actually, for me, seeing that these two guys had been... I mean, that Goldust had basically been squandered near the end of his run with WWE, and that Jack Swagger could have had matches like this.
What are you talking about? Goldust was basically squandered? He was absolutely squandered.
Yeah, no, he was. He really was.
So, no, but yeah, it was a good match. But when you compare it to the rest of the show...
Oh, God, it just becomes just a good match.
It's only a good match when you compare it to that. But at the time, yes, it was a very excellent...
Oh, it was a wonderful kickoff to the show proper.
And we constantly got to see his wife at ringside that they constantly kept going... Hager kept going back to. We even had a Dustin.
Yeah.
I don't know how this spot is going to go overall with today's culture.
Let me just say,
forcibly kissing another man's wife.
Yeah. Let me just say, it did not with the ultra PC crowd. It did not go over well. the people who are easily offended by pretty much anything that wrestling does outside of the ultra PG that WWE can do. Outside of that, everyone just went, no, that was a spot where it was, you were supposed to not like, it was Goldust coming through who was like, nah, I'll put my lips on anybody. I don't care.
Yeah. But it's still, it's one of those things where you got to be careful with those kind of spots these days. That's my main thing overall. Obviously, she was a part of it because she's the wife of Jake Hager. She approved it. So that's one of the things when you do see that clearly everyone has signed off on it.
Right.
So, but at the same time, visually, you just got to be cautious.
Oh, another thing. I did notice that they were doing, that the show did something that you have railed against and hate with heated passion. The raised ramp.
Oh, trust me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, come on.
At the same time, they used it pretty well in a bunch of the matches, though.
No, it was dumb. It was dumb.
Nope.
I'm sorry. It needs to go fucking away.
I mean, I like the fact that it's not every week, though.
Oh, I'm glad about that, but here's my point. Like, you saw when they got to that part in the ring, they actually had to go on top of on there. Why does that spot need to be elevated and the rest of the outside the ring doesn't? That's my point.
Yeah, okay.
It's just, it drove me nuts. I was like, half the spots later in the matchup, we'll get to the matchup specifically I'm talking about.
Okay.
That it just made it look dumb to me. And it was a great matchup.
Oh.
Over.
Okay. Let's get to the next match
anyway,
then.
I'm trying to remember what was the next match. Was this the
Darby Allin versus the Spanish God Sammy Guevara.
So, a little pet peeve here for everyone. This matchup got 5 minutes bell to bell. Oh yeah, it was like another 10 minutes before the bell rang.
yeah. Like I love the fact that during that entire pre-bell match, the ref was probably one of the best parts of that, outside of Sammy's 640 splash onto the table. Holy crap, that was Sammy, be safe, okay?
And if you actually a little note on that, if you actually pay attention at the very end of that, when he kind of hits and twists so he lands on his stomach onto Darby.
Yep.
And I'm like, that was probably a precaution to when he hit. He enough to get his weight, but then he could turn because it's easier to that height up just to kind of chest to chest versus back to chest probably. Or maybe just the momentum, the way he flipped. I don't know. But it was a great spot, but that needs to be his finisher. Because it's a great move. I love that move.
I don't know about a finisher, but, I mean, then again, we still have Darby Allin with pulling out the coffin drop.
I hate the coffin drop. It's a dumb looking finisher.
For me, it's just... Okay, I have another finisher in the world of wrestling that I put in the line with the coffin drop. You might hate me for this. We might get people hating me for this, but Finn Balor's coup de grace. The foot stomp. I'm just like, it doesn't, because of the fact that for the longest time it was against much bigger people in the main roster, it never looked like it was actually like that powerful of a move. It was just like,
well, that's because
all right,
Vince didn't let him do anything. When he first came up to the main roster and he beat Reigns immediately, when he beat Seth for the Universal Championship, it looked devastating. But when he came, because he got hurt and he'd come back and then Vince gave up on him, he didn't let him sell. No one was really allowed to sell it like it was a devastating move. NXT, it was said as a devastating move. I do kind of agree with you. I'm not a huge fan of that spot. Balor actually sold me on the move because he just does it so well.
Oh yeah. It's a visually a great move, and I kind of feel that it works better in conjunction with his shotgun drop kick. Yeah. Using shotgun drop kick and then immediately going up to that, you've basically stretched his finisher out to 2 moves.
Yeah, but not just that, but like the way he lands it. Because when I've seen other people like I've seen do this. I can't think of his name. He did it in TNA. Was his finisher? I just didn't like how he presented it.
I think I know who you're talking about because the way that he did the move every time, he would basically collapse the moment his feet touched somebody.
Yeah, or he just hit and bounce off.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Like it was such
Balor,
a safe move, but it didn't look effective.
But Balor, when he comes down, he actually he comes down, his legs kind of give out, but he's he's drilling the feet down into your chest.
Yeah, he still has his legs fully extended all the way down until he hits, and then he rolls out of it.
Yeah, when he jumps, he comes down, and as he about to make contact, he thrusts his legs down into the chest.
Yeah,
which is such a great presentation.
So yeah, Darby and Sammy, we called that this was going to be a feud beginner for the two of them.
Yeah, not just when we gotta clarify that it was not just for a time period for right now. No, these two are gonna be the Rock and Austin type character feuds for the rest of their career. As long as they are kept within
fighting distance of each other, they will put on great match, and personally, a vendetta level match between the two of them. Yeah. Because I don't really feel that Sammy was truly defeated by Darby in this, because only a couple of days before, Sammy had his head basically super kicked off. Yeah. That super kick, how some people are like, wow, people can sell the super kick. He sold it so well. It looked like he literally got kicked. I'm surprised that Matt Jackson did not at that moment go, "Oh God, I'm so sorry, I killed him." He did pay him back on BTE though. He got Sammy a new pair of sunglasses.
Because on Sammy's channel it said, "I almost died," and it's showing the super kick.
Yeah. You look at that. He is legs completely collapsed. Head is back at a weird angle, and Matt's foot is just against him.
Yeah.
It's just oh, Sammy, you got knocked out. Kayfabe.
Yeah. But this was a great setup. I'm telling you, they need a secondary title.
Yeah.
Because you put it on Darby or Sammy, and you have these two feuding over that fucking belt. You have gold. You instantly make that belt worth something.
You can also open up spots with Sean Spears in there. Pac, that a secondary title would go a long way on elevating a lot of the roster that they have right now.
Yeah, they definitely need a secondary title. And yes, I do call it, when I refer to it as a mid-card title, because that's what it should be.
Right.
Doesn't mean because that's what WWE's Intercontinental Champion is. It's a mid-card championship. It at one point was meant to see if the person could be a championship. Jake the Snake actually just had a sit-down interview with Jericho, and he talked back in the day, during his time, if you were the heavyweight champion, you got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
The next person who got the most money was the Intercontinental Champion, and if you were feuding with the champion,
you got paid.
You got paid equal.
Yeah, for the match.
That's why he always wanted to feud with Hogan, because it would have been a huge moneymaker for him.
People. There was always the rumor that people who lost to Hogan got an extra $10,000,
and some people even more.
Yeah, just to lose to him. I'd be like, I'll take the extra pay. I don't care.
Yeah. So this is a mid-card championship is not a bad thing.
No.
If you call it a mid-card or a secondary title, regardless of how you want to classify it, it's not a bad thing, because you're using it as a saying, this person we're keeping an eye on because as a potential world champion. We want to see how people react to them as a champion, but we can't put the main belt on them yet.
Right.
And that's what they need to do. It's good. I definitely don't think they need to put out. They shouldn't do it yet. They need to. They're still establishing things. But if I had to make the earliest prediction, I would say if you're going to put a secondary title out there, it should be Double or Nothing would be the earliest, and the latest I would say All Out.
Yeah.
Or Final or whatever the show in November is. I can't remember what the goddamn name of that one is.
Whatever. No, I'm saying All Out. All Out should be where you introduce it.
Yeah. Personally, that's more needed than the 6-man tag belts.
Honestly, I
we
feel
still
the same
haven't
way.
confirmed that they're actually bringing in. We've only heard that they said at the cruise they were going to do it. They haven't officially announced those yet.
Nope,
but we've been getting a lot of 6-man tag teams forming suddenly.
I mean, also, you have to think, most of these guys have wrestled either in Mexico or in Japan, where that's a prevalent thing.
Yes, but my thing is, and I don't mind 6-man tags, but you need a secondary title more.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yes, those are great there. We then went into, I'm trying to remember, was this, you went to the Tag Team Championship matchup.
Yes, it was. It was the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Kenny Omega and Adam Page, the team without a name. And, Kenny and Adam Page's current streak of 0 days sober versus the Young Bucks.
So this was a great matchup because the people who say the Young Bucks can't do psychology or storytell.
Oh my God,
are fucking idiots.
Yeah, they are.
The whole matchup is set up around when Page is in the ring, the Young Bucks just go at him.
Well, because also he's
ring,
going at them.
Yeah, when Kenny's in the ring, they take it easy. They don't they're trying to beat him, but they're not going out of their way to hurt him or anything because they're his friend. They get to the point where they finally snap and actually go after Kenny and try to ripping the tape off him that he had on there because of his Iron Man match from the Wednesday before.
Yep.
And it was such a great piece of storytelling. This is the matchup. Oops, I just hit my microphone.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
That's going to be a big spike.
Yeah, it is.
But this is the matchup I was talking about that I had that stupid expansion of the stage came in because when they fought out onto it, it looked dumb with them just walking further on and they're still the same height. It just looks stupid.
It does. Look, I
get if you want that point you want people to see this thing, but you have this one area. Oh, they all have to be raised up at this area, but the rest of the ring that they're going to use consistently throughout the entire show is not elevated. It's dumb.
Yeah.
But overall, outside those little things, this match was still phenomenal. Because everyone was predicting this is probably they'll drop the belts to the Young Bucks.
Yep. Page will turn on Kenny. The Young Bucks will save Kenny.
Page. But they retained. And again, Page is the one who got the win. And by the way, the V-trigger butt shot lariat is exactly how I wanted it. They do it
V-trigger from behind,
time.
and it's just a slam.
Yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it. And I was like, that's probably not going to be what it is. And then I saw it like, yes, that's exactly how I wanted it. Because it's devastating. You're taking the power of Kenny Omega's knee to the back of the fucking head, and the power of Page's lariat to the chest and head. It's just,
And you've got no place to go at that moment. It's just bam.
Yeah.
And I'm going to collapse.
You have to wait for them to move.
Yep.
So you can fall down.
I do I really enjoy the I like the story that Adam Page basically is saying that, he trusts Kenny, but he can't trust Kenny's friendship with the Bucks.
Yeah.
And he can't and he's not trusting the Young Bucks at all because of the things that they've said to him.
And that's also the thing. There's a storytelling at the end of this was because at some point near the end of the match, the Bucks kind of get back in control and realize they kind of went too far.
Yep.
They always played the heels.
Well, I mean, I think it was Nick that was trying to reel Matt back in.
Yeah. And then So they kind of realized they could pull back, but then they lost the match. So at the end of the match, they're trying to get back to business. They're friends outside of the match. They lost. They understand that. Let's be there. But Kenny's not buying it. He's like, no. Even Kenny's like, no, you went too far.
Yeah.
And Paige is like, no. And once again, Kenny he gives in, and Paige is not happy about it. He gets out, and the Bucks get out of the ring. Kenny's still in the ring. His back to Paige, and Paige is just like, he sets the belt down. He grabs the rope.
Like he's setting up a buckshot right here.
He's setting up like he's theirs, but he's not doing anything. But the eyes, he's just like there. Kenny turns around, and he just stops, and he's like there, and he does a little flinch, like
you caught me.
He may have done it. Could have done the whole thing, or he's just come on, let's go, and he's holding it up. Even Kenny's like,
wait, what were you?
Okay.
What were you about to do?
Yeah. So it was a great little tease there, and it was perfect character and acting by both Omega and Hangman Page.
For me, I love the fact that, one, it's a 30-minute match. Fucking brilliant. Yep. But at the same time, they worked the false finish beautifully in that match. I felt while watching it, it could have ended at any time. I was like, oh yeah. Is this... Oh, no, this is not where it ends. Okay. All right, keep watching. Oh, that was crazy. Great set of moves, guys. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is where it's going to... Oh, nope. I do really like the fact that the AEW fans, in attendance, are yelling out the 1, 2, 3s. Like, they are buying into the... Especially since I think there was a false finish earlier. I don't remember which match it was, but there was a 1, 2, and they are about... Like, you can hear half the crowd starting 3 when the kick out happens, and they're like, oh, throw!
That was Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara matchup.
Like, they were like, 1, 2, throw!
Yeah. They thought it was so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great matchup. And then we got into the Women's Championship matchup, which I didn't get to see the entirety of this matchup. I only caught the end of it, the very end of it.
Oh.
I heard it was not a bad matchup. They did what they kind of had to do. Everyone knew Starliner was not going to win the belt.
Yep.
Here, but it had the worst placement for this matchup. Oh,
it did. It coming directly off from a killer tag team match. There are moments where you're stuck being the match that follows something absolutely amazing. I mean, can you imagine being the match that followed Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels?
Oh no.
You're just like, well, time to do my job, and everyone's burnt out and crying in the audience right now.
Yep. So, but okay, so just up to this point, so everyone knows, up to this point where we got to Nyla Rose and Chris Statlander, Adam, you had 1, 2, 3 correct out of the 4 matches.
All right, I was doing good.
I was 4 for 4 at this point.
Okay, I was doing good for me.
Yes, compared to some of your matches, some of your predictions, where you're like, I got 1 right.
Yeah, I got 2 out of 9 right.
Yeah. So, then we went into, what was the next match? We went into the Cody MJF match.
Yes.
And this was a good one. I thought this was going to be a little bit better, but can I just say this?
Yeah.
Fuck the neck tattoo.
I don't blame you. For me, you could have put that really, honestly, that should have been a shoulder tattoo.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of neck, face, or anything like tattoos, period. And then it just shows you how bad it looks on Dynamite when Cody came out in a suit, and you can see it peeling over, and it's just like...
And the worst part is, there is a high point of it, which is almost up on his cheek. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Cody. it's a really cool image. It's a really cool tattoo. It's a bad placement.
Yeah, I don't really like the design of the tattoo at all. I have no problem with having a crest for the Nightmare family and all that, but I don't think it looks good there. The design it is, and specifically location.
Yeah.
And we now know for a fact that Brandy Rhodes also hates the tattoo.
She is not a fan of it.
As she said, though, he can make his own decisions.
Yep.
I don't like it, but if it's his body, if he wants to put it, that's his choice.
He's a grown-ass man, and he can do what he wants.
And I know other people who would say, oh, if your wife doesn't like it, you don't do it, because if you're married, you guys are a joint unit, so you must both agree. You're fucking idiots.
Well, I mean, there's always the rule of happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, but that was not the thing they were going with. They're going with more of a biblical thing, and it's just dumb.
Oh.
Anyway,
okay.
But this match was pretty good. I was expecting a little bit more out of it, but let's just say, I will say this. Oh, MJF came out as a megastar out of this match.
Yes, he did.
And at this point in the night, I am 5 for 5 matches.
I hate you. I hate you.
That's about to change.
Now I do have to say, I think also a plus that MJF is having is the fact that he's a heel doing heel things even outside the ring. So
yes.
He is just getting over as the greatest heel right now possible.
Yeah.
And I love the people who are upset that it's all like cheap heat, flipping a kid off, tweeting "fuck that kid."
See, that to me is not cheap heat, though. That's actually what someone who's an absolute bad guy would do.
It's the same mindset as the $1 Million Man.
Yeah. It's just when you think about it, because I was very critical of MJF at like all in when he came out, and he's doing those typical new superstar who's a heel doing the cheap heat things, insult the town, all that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that you're still learning and you're trying to figure out ways. And you can say, yes, he does a lot of the same stuff now, but he's found a way to do it within his character, because that was the thing that never matched up. He was doing these heel things because he's a heel, but it didn't match his character well. But now he's doing it, but it matches how his character would act.
Right. He's a pompous jackass. So he's acting like a pompous jackass.
So people who are like the whole thing when he flicked off a kid at a meet and greet, and people blew up on him about it. Eric Bischoff said it best, I think, because he did say this. He's like, personally, I wouldn't have done that. I know a lot of people who do come to these meet and greets actually want to meet the character, not the person who plays the character, which is the exact opposite of WWE's mind frame.
Yep.
So, but no, a lot of people do that. So you should be expecting that. And if you're a parent and you're bringing your kid and they can't really understand this stuff, so when they get flicked off by this guy who they thought they wanted to meet, that's on the parent just as much as on anyone else, because the parent should have been doing that. And if the parent was naive enough to think this, you've been watching a little too much WWE. You need to do your history lesson, because not everyone else is a WWE. That's one aspect of it.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, I have heard that he's actually, like, when you get past, the character, incredibly nice guy.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of funny. The people who are the nicest guys can play the most evilest people.
Yes.
I think it's one of those ways that they kind of tapped into. They see what other people would do, how evil people would act, and all that.
Yep.
And then they kind of take that stuff, and then they think about it. Those things that they don't do, they have popped in their heads. Maybe I kind of want to do this, but they like, no, that's not. I would never really do that.
Like, I wouldn't
do
that. It's
still pop there. They tap into that for when they play a bad guy, and that's how they really dive into these dastardly heels. So yeah. So if you guys are getting upset that MJF flips off a kid. That's why do you think when the Four Horsemen turned on Dusty Rhodes in a cage, people literally rioted the cage.
Yeah.
That's what heels used to do in the back in the day.
You used to be able to get the crowd so riled up against you that you actually had to leave very quickly from the arena.
Yeah. You had to be careful because the people really did want to hurt you. That was the goal.
Yeah. So he's a classic heel doing classic heel things. Jeez.
So, yeah. But this was a good matchup. It came off as it did. MJF takes the win. After everything, Cody for weeks goes against everything MJF said he had to go so we wouldn't have to wrestle him. He finally gets the match. Yes, he had to use that ring that we thought he gave to Wardrow.
Yep.
But he had it in the tights all along. But that's what a heel does. And that's a great thing of sleight of hand. That's a masterful thing of sleight of hand. Because you actually watch him hand it, and then he puts it back, comes back, and you see Wardrow take it.
Yeah.
You see this. But there's nowhere in that match Wardrow actually hands it back to him. So It's a great camera setup and sleight of hand for it.
Also, it reminds me of the William Regal brass knuckles.
Yes, but he always had him in the trunks. It was only he didn't really have to come up with creative ways until the refs started going, "Come on!" He started patting him down. Besides the pads or anything in the and that's when he had to start coming up with creative ways to hide the brass knuckles.
Yep.
And then we had the match of the night. Well, not the match of the night, but the most devastating match of the night.
You know it.
Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Those kicks that Orange Cassidy and Pac were giving to each other.
I don't know how the shock waves off from them did not blow out all of the windows in Chicago itself. I don't know how they did it. I don't know. There should have been 2 bloody stumps in the ring because those legs would have been blown away by then.
So when they did that spot where he just kind of starts to do his little kicks,
yeah,
and then the crowds are going, oh, I was going, oh, and then Pac returned and like, oh
no, oh,
Pac did the same thing, and then Page came, and then Cassidy did it again, and I was like, oh, and he builds up, he's like this, and then Pac really drills him. I was like, perfect.
Oh, it's wonderful. I also love the fact that as Orange Cassidy gets into the ring to start the match, he takes off his jacket, hands it. I think it was Chuck that he hands it to, or Trent. Trent's on the other side. He hands the jacket, takes his sunglasses off. Trent hands him a different pair of sunglasses.
Yeah,
he puts those on instead. I was just like, you know what? I like this. I love the fact that Orange Cassidy was pulling an Orange Cassidy move right up to that massive clothesline that took his glasses off.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy here. Some people are saying he tried in this match. I don't think he did.
No, I see that he tapped into and he performed in a singles match. But this doesn't seem to be a fire, nobody lit a fire under his ass. He came in, he did what he needed to, and he lost.
And he lost because the Lucha Bros came down and attacked the Best Friends. Leading to the low blow, and then an arm crank, and then locked in the Brutalizer, to where he immediately tapped out, protecting Cassidy in defeat.
Yep.
No, he passed out. This is where Adam...
Did he pass out?
I lost my first match.
Yeah.
Of the night. Oh. You got it. And I predicted Pac was going to win.
You did? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we both said Pac was going to win, but you put down Orange Cassidy.
Because I wasn't sure if they were going to go the route of having Orange Cassidy win in his for debut match or not.
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling that Pac was going to have to win to relieve him from his loss against Omega. But at the same time, they could have had this, and they could have done. it wouldn't have been a complete hurt Pac if he did.
No, not really.
But it was a great matchup, and the constant showing up, putting the hands in the pocket, Pac stopping him.
Yes.
See, that's what I think would be a great way to do is when he finally tries, is when someone, like the whole match, he tries to put his hands in his pocket and someone keeps stopping him. Every time he cannot get the hands in the pockets, and that's what lights a fire under his hands.
I mean,
nothing else.
Because by the end of the match, he is hyped up and just
he's like
that Superman punch looked devastating.
Yeah, just like him. He's like the final time. He's like he goes for it, and the guy stops him one more time, and he's just like and you just see
the
him
nose
get fired
flares,
up.
the eyes, widen.
You see, I want the sunglasses have to be back on. He put the sunglasses back on for this spot, and when it happens, he's just like this. He breaks his hands free, and he's just flaring, and he takes the glasses off, and everyone's like, "Uh-oh, he took the glasses off?"
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. But this was a great matchup. This is where the women's matchup should have been.
It would have been better at this spot, honestly.
Because this would have been this was a great matchup. It was a little bit more of a comedy type of match, done right though.
Yes. Oh, the spot with Pac trying to get back in the ring and Cassidy rolling over and just rolling over to him and just being like, "Hi, how's it going? You wanted to get back in, didn't you? I'm right here." I was like, "That's that's perfect."
I did love how constantly when Pac tried to set up the black arrow, Cassidy just kept rolling.
Yeah.
And then he came around, so he just rolled back to the other side.
Yep. By the way, Cassidy's stunner is cool.
That's what Mark Andrews was doing. I was trying to explain to all those, like he would do a suplex into his. That's the move.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the move. Like
the way you were describing it was when you were saying suplex into a stunner. I was like, he lifts him up and then he just flips him over onto his back and like,
yeah.
No, he jumps up, spins around, and then comes down with it.
Because technically, Cassidy does the way Cassidy did it. He pushes himself up into it. Mark Andrews, it looks like he's getting suplexed and he reverses it into a stunner.
Even with Orange Cassidy, it looked like Pac was about to do just a simple, suplex to him, and then he spins around with it.
Well, Cassidy picked up Pac, so to me it looked like he did it himself. Or maybe it was like so quick because it happened so quickly.
Yeah,
Pac could have tried to reverse it, and then he reversed that as well. But either way, it's still a cool move. And then we have my second match of the evening. Your second match of the evening of getting it wrong as well.
Yep.
John, hold on. I have to paraphrase this. 0 F's given. John Moxley wins.
By the way, I absolutely back when Justin Roberts was with WWE, I made fun of his ring announcement. Him and AEW, I've immediately accepted it and just been like, no, I like it. I don't know what it was about that, that era in, well, what was it? Just like the slight post Ruthless Aggression era that he was ring announcing in. It just, for some strange reason, the way he brought people in did not feel like it worked in any way.
Well, part of it was we were so used to Lillian Garcia.
Yes, that's true.
And he was still a new announcer, ring announcer. He was trying to find his flair. It was also around the time where Vince started putting the crackdown on a lot of things.
Yeah, he wasn't really able to do the things that he does right now.
Yeah. But Cody brought him in to AEW for a reason because they were good friends behind the scenes, so he knew what he could do. Also, once he left WWE, he did a lot of ring announcing elsewhere where he got to practice and find his own flair.
Right.
Because when outside of WWE, when you go and ring announce for any other kind of combat sport or other wrestling, yes, the promoter might give you some notes on how they want the announcing done for their stars, but they usually give you a lot of freedom on matching up your style because they came to you for a reason.
Yes.
To bring you in to do it, so they allow you to have that some creativity, but they do maybe give you notes. You can just tell that. What's his name? Roberts.
Justin Roberts.
What's his first name? Justin Roberts. I want to say, what was his first name again?
You're like, I forgot.
You can just tell his sense of humor and everything just matches so well with Kenny, the Young Bucks, Cody.
With what's going on in the company.
Well, not just in the company, but just their sense of humor. And the best example of this to me is during Fyter Fest when he said they brought Justin. They whispered something, and he's like, okay. They get back in the end, he's like, round one, fight! And he did it perfectly. And he did it in his own way, but he did it in a way that also you could just tell, nope, doesn't seem weird. Or if you did that in WWE, Vince would have so many limits on how you can announce things that if you even allowed that to happen, it would have felt too awkward.
Right.
Or very, very gimmicky.
Yes.
Young Bucks and Cody and Kenny, they just found ways to make something that's very gimmicky play off well.
I mean, because one of the great things about them is that they're like, no, look, we don't believe in kayfabe, while at the same time totally holding true to kayfabe.
Yeah. So it's definitely one of those interesting things. But going back to Chris Jericho and Moxley, this was not the best match I was hoping for. I will say this.
No.
Oh, by the way, first off, I gotta make a big stink here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I do not believe Jericho is 225.
I don't think so either.
I'm not saying he's a lot heavier than that. I just don't buy him at 225.
I'm saying he's 230.
No, I think
235, 240, somewhere in there.
To 245. He's somewhere between 235 to 245. It seemed to me. Because when I was 230, 232, back in 2016, Jericho and I are about the same height. Outside actually having somewhat, he can actually, he has the dad bod, you can still kind of see his abs in some ways because if you work,
he's 6 feet.
Your abs and you have body fat, you can still make them there. I was kind of that heavy set. I was kind of big. Like that kind of big.
Yeah.
Because of my frame, I didn't have a huge belly. If I was like a few inches shorter, I would have. So I'd probably say he's probably about 235, 240 to 245. Probably around 240, somewhere around there, I would guess. But I'm sorry, I don't buy him at 225.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my biggest pet peeve there. But this match was not the best match, but it told an amazing story.
Yes, it did.
This matchup was like, and that's why I'm forgiving of it, because the story here was the whole biblical idea of an eye for an eye.
Yes.
Revenge, vengeance, all that stuff. And who can outsmart who? Jericho says, I've outsmarted Moxley. I proved it at the weigh-in.
Yep.
I proved it here tonight.
Uh-huh.
Bringing in the Inner Circle to help interfere, keep it, all that. Even when Jake Hager got caught instead of a disqualification, he, in the most overselling by Audrey, kicking someone out, which got a massive pop.
Oh, it totally did.
If this thing was done in WWE, I'm not trying to compare it, make joke, just bash WWE or anything, but I'm seriously, if they try to do this, Vince doesn't want referees to be noticed.
Right.
You're there. The only time you get to get noticed is if you're counting the pinfall, taking a ref bump, and looking like an idiot.
Yep.
Or fucking up and then getting beat up anyway. You are allowed to be noticed. So if you try to do this, it would come off so cheesy that fans would boo it.
Yeah.
There's maybe one or two superstars, maybe three, possibly four I could think of, there was a talent of that could help sell a ref in WWE do this kind of overreaction of getting kicked out to make it not look ridiculous there. And they're all older wrestlers who should be on their way out who could do this. None of the new guys could do this. But getting back to it, it was such a great thing. And it worked out even great was because all of a sudden I took my eyes off the screen for a moment and then turned back. And all of a sudden I see Sammy Guevara crack Moxley with a belt. I'm like, where the fuck did he come from?
Really?
I didn't even see it. And then, of course, Jericho crawls over, covers him. All that he's going to steal it. Moxley kicks out. And we get some little more back and forth. By the way, Moxley got busted open above the eye patch.
Yes.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught this, but I caught it near the end of the match when after selling the second eye injury to the other eye, because Jericho finally realized, oh, he can't see the other eye. Let me take the other eye out, and he can't see.
Should have been the first thing he went after.
That would have been the first thing I would have gone after. And then I would have gone after the other eye just to be on the safe side.
Just in case.
But Moxley gets up after hitting somewhat of a what's
paradigm
the,
shift?
Paradigm shift. Because of the Death Rider in New Japan, though.
Really?
I think the Death Rider is when he really picks you up and drops you. The paradigm shift is more like how he just.
It's a double arm DDT.
Yeah. He kind of hits a fast one on that. And then he doesn't get the pinfall, so he comes back up. He stands up. I saw him do this to the wound to get it to bleed. And also you just see a trickle of blood come out like this. It's like he poked the scab to get more blood to kind of come out.
Not just that. It's also a kind of a thing when I like to link it to Star Wars when in sorry, in the remake of A New Hope, when Kylo Ren has the side injury and he keeps punching it over and over again to get himself angrier and angrier and give himself more adrenaline. I could kind of see that, that's what Moxley was doing. He was doing it in his way and flicking at it instead of just like punching himself in the head a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. He busted me open. Fuck you, Jericho.
Yeah. I'm going to use this now. What's up?
Yeah, and then, but no, he was literally flicking it with a finger to get it. Not punching it. He was literally, you can actually see his middle finger just hit the spot.
Pop, over and over again.
Because the Wrestle Talk thought it was a capsule underneath there. But when you saw him on Dynamite, he actually had like a big scab there.
Yep.
So it looked like he got busted open the hard way. But anyway, then we revealed that he shows that no, Jericho, you thought you outsmarted me. No, like all the times before, to build to this matchup, I really outsmarted you. Takes the eye path off to show that he can truly see out of that eye. Hits the paradigm shift. 1, 2, 3, and the arena actually explodes.
It erupted.
Because I don't think anybody thought Moxley was going to win here.
No. I mean, the safe bet was that Jericho was going to continue holding it through to Double or Nothing. Easily.
No, some people were saying even further to All Out.
Yeah, easily. That was where we were going to go. And then Moxley walking out the champion, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I like this. Moxley's promo afterwards was a wonderful, rambling John Moxley promo. It was great. Yep. Especially his false finish to his promo. I guess you could call it that. Where he's like, all right, after this, I'm going to have to go home and crack open a couple of brewskis. And stops. There's no music hitting. He's like, well, okay. And then he starts going and music hits. And then immediately gets cut off again. And he's just like, so, yeah, we're making this up as we go along. I'm going to have to go home and crack open a couple of cold ones now. Music finally hits properly.
But no, it was, yeah, I didn't see that part. Like, I kind of stopped paying attention to the promo near the end of his promo.
Yeah.
But by the way, Renee Young was backstage for this.
Yes, she was.
So, which was cool to see that she was there to see her husband win the championship. And yeah, it was just a great little moment because, and it was his promo, his opening line, like his opening line is like, wow, how a year difference makes compared to where he was this time last year. Just soon, about a month off of being announced that he's leaving WWE, starting to get jobbed out.
Yep.
But because he's leaving.
That stupid run of promos with the gas masks and the doctor stuff.
That was before this.
I know, but that was about a year. That was about a year ago, wasn't it?
That was before the Royal Rumble.
Oh, God.
So this was like he was on his way out and he's just jobbing to EC3, who then lost. He beat EC3 in 3 seconds, basically the next week because people booed him.
Yep.
At a house show because everyone realized what they were doing. They were jobbing out Ambrose because he was leaving and got a backlash.
Yep.
So, it definitely shows this. And I was wondering, definitely felt like Moxley needs to be world champion at some point within this year or so of Sun's TV, but I wasn't sure if this would be the right time. But it officially 183 days is the record to beat as champion.
All right,
with Chris Jericho.
This also marks that Jon Moxley is officially the youngest AEW champion.
Yeah. I saw that on one of the his podcast with the second youngest AEW world champion. But yeah, no, it's definitely. Here's what I would do. I would protect Jericho's reign of 183 days for the next few years.
Yeah,
people can get close to it, but you should really have the belt. No one should beat that to just kind of hold that up to Jericho.
Yep.
Being the first and having the longest reign for a little while before you beat that.
From here, I'd actually 183 days, because I would have said that Moxley holds the belt all the way to All Out, but that would break the record. Yeah. Actually, why not have him drop the belt at Double or Nothing?
No.
Ooh.
The belt needs to change hands on Dynamite next. Because every other championship has changed hands on Dynamite except for that belt. And this would be a great way to make that
at Blood and Guts.
That's too soon.
No, it's a complete, like, what actually happens is that just before the match, as Moxley is out there, the bell has not rung, Inner Circle just comes out and destroys him.
No, it's too soon.
But he refuses to not go through with the match. So the person just basically gets a cheap win out of it. And you're like, what the hell was this shit? Turn right around. Immediately, Cody's like, all right, you know what, Moxley, I'm giving you the rematch on this one. That was not your fault. And you made a bad decision. I was giving you an out because I got a feeling it's going to be Cody.
No, maybe Cody will be the next person to win it overall, but I really think they're going to sell Cody not being a challenge for the World Championship for a while now.
Okay.
For a while. They got to do it for at least a year, I think. Really get that idea that Cody's not winning the championship. Like, they really hold it. If you could figure out a way to keep Cody away from that belt for like 5 years, that would be awesome. Oh my God. That way you really, when he wins it, you really celebrate it.
Not just that, when he finally does win it, it's a belt versus career match.
Yeah.
And he decides to retire anyway. Like, he wins it on Saturday. By Wednesday, he's like, I want to thank everyone, but I'm retiring, and I'm retiring as an undefeated champion. and you're like, oh, Cody, as much as you've always been the good guy in this company, a face here, that was a total heel move.
But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. But overall, this is a great matchup. Adam, what would you rank Revolution?
Oh man, this one. I'm giving it a good 4 stars.
I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go 4 stars too. Not seeing enough of the women's matchup. I heard it was a decent matchup and everything, but
it was fun.
Placement and no real story going into it really hurt it.
Right.
And the placement for and not having Orange Cassidy and Pac where that women's match was also hurt. I'm taking it. Even though that was great because it could have fit that match could have fit anywhere on the card.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'll give it definitely a solid 4 on this. All right, before we move on to the news, the little news we have to get to talk
We've
about.
We've got 2 more things to talk about. That's it.
Yeah, I know. So, which is fine. I'm glad we took this so much time going over this card because it was worth it. I got 2 things I got to point out first. First off, Adam, if you add up, once again, I just hit my microphone. That's going to be another loud
I can't believe you're doing this to me, man.
Yes. Well, you're the editor this week, so fuck you. That's what you get for winning. But if you take all the TV time limits for each of the matches on this pay-per-view card, I don't know exactly how much they add up to, but I can tell you this much. They will not add up to the 4-hour-long pay-per-view. It'll be more.
Yeah.
So apparently they have longer time. They actually have the gall of it to go even longer. They just don't have to because the matches don't last that long.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only that's the only downside to time limits on like when you have like full like you announce like a 60-minute time limit and your pay-per-view is gonna be your pay-per-view is gonna be 4 hours long. It works in New Japan because they literally can go so however fuck long they want.
Exactly.
In a sense. My other thing is I have a bone to pick with Kenny Omega.
Oh, what is that?
His snap suplexes in the tag match were sloppy.
Oh, it's a dragon suplex, right?
Well, he normally does he's done snap Germans, he's done snap dragons. It's mostly snap dragon, but this one I think was just a normal German.
Okay, because
it looked like he just fell onto his back.
Okay, no,
times.
that was the dragon suplex.
It looked terrible in the match.
It looks great from the other angle. If they had filmed it so that they were falling towards the camera, it looks way better.
Well, I mean, I've seen his snap dragons before, and they look amazing. But the way they just did look terrible in this matchup. That's all my big point. I'm not picking him overall because I've seen his snapdragons and they're. I'm like, how is that guy's neck not broken? At times, but I just in this matchup it looked like he fell on his back.
Yeah, it does.
And just had like Matt or Nick just barely above him to also kind of take a hit. But all right, Adam. Let's move on to Dynamite and NXT ratings.
All right, yes, the ratings are in for AEW Dynamite and NXT. And once again, AEW...
Wait. And new winner... Oh, wait. Dynamite won, so never mind. It's still running.
Winning the Wednesday Night Wars. AEW comes in this Wednesday with 906,000 viewers, which is a 41,000 increase over last week. So they got the post pay-per-view bump out of that. It's not.
Yep.
We thought it was going to be way bigger than it was, but whatever.
That's okay, but I I figured they would have gotten a bigger bump because the show was good. Maybe if it was like the main event was a little bit more exciting, a little bit better matchup, it would have done.
Maybe.
But who knows? But it's still a good bump up there. But NXT was up too.
Yes, by 1,000.
Yes. It had a 1,000 bump. Normally it goes up, like when it goes up, it usually goes up by a lot, like 20, 30, 40, 50,000. It was up by 1,000 people this week.
1,000.
1,000. And this is the night they had 2 cage matches. And this was a matchup where we actually finally got my prediction of who will probably take the belt off of Adam Cole. Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
Losing his cage match with Roderick Strong because he literally shoves Strong out of the ring so he could close the cage and get his real game plan of being alone with Adam Cole so he could beat him down and go and hold the NXT championship over him after the show end.
Smart move.
That's what I've been saying. When Adam Cole won the title back in June, I said he needs to win it and then he needs to drop it to Velveteen Dream.
It'll put over Velveteen Dream like nothing else.
Yeah. So that's what our prediction is. So it looks like that's a good little tease for the takeover in Tampa, if that actually happens.
You know WWE, they're going to go through with it no matter what.
Oh yeah, money versus concerning for people's health? No.
Yeah. While on the flip side of that, New Japan is basically canceling Genesis.
Yeah. Stardom has canceled a bunch of their shows, but they are having one show next week, but it's an empty arena show.
Okay.
So it's only going to be the stars in there. Which I think is a kind of little cool little idea. To do. But yeah, they're taking it very promptly over there. And here's the reason why WWE should be really taking it, because 2 cases in the section where WrestleMania will be hosted in had 2 cases of the coronavirus.
Yep.
So not to get onto that there, but it is one of those things to be definitely concerned about. And hopefully WWE, if it does get out of hand, will make the correct decision, because it just takes one idiot who's not feeling good, doesn't realize they have it, show up at WrestleMania because I got WrestleMania tickets. I'm going. I don't care.
Or access.
Access. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just under the weather. I don't have that. I'm just gonna go anyway because I don't care about other people. It's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
And you just continue it. So hopefully it'll go. And Adam, what's the next piece of news?
NXT Japan. The rumor is that WWE is going to buy out All Japan Pro Wrestling.
So WWE's been trying to buy promotions over in Japan for a while now. They're hoping to possibly get Stardom to be one of their base, at least for the women.
Nope.
They was talking about Noah they were looking at.
Nope again.
And they tried to get Dragon Gate, that they turned them down.
They got bought by somebody else.
Dragon Gate did get bought. They just turned them down.
Or was it Noah?
Noah got bought.
Okay, yeah.
By DDT.
Yeah.
So, but all Japan Pro Wrestling, they've been in talks with since the summer, and the owner is being brought over to Orlando to be a guest trainer and continue talks with Triple H. So it's not of if, it's a matter of when. I would love to see someone come along and say, hey, All Japan Pro Wrestling, we'll pay you, this is whatever WWE's paying, I'm gonna buy you for, we'll pay you, give you more.
We'll give you $2 more.
We'll give you more money.
New Japan buys them out.
And and here's the thing, we're not gonna rename you
Nope.
to something else. We're gonna keep All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yep, you guys still operate as a completely separate entity.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of fun to see happen again. But it's only a matter of when we're gonna get NXT Japan. Now don't get me wrong, I do love the idea of having these kind of territorial based like NXTs. I do not agree with their method of we're gonna raid their scene and basically make it so they can't work anyone else that don't have promotional working relationships with us.
Right.
Mind frame that they did it in UK because they literally gutted the UK and part of Europe.
Yes, they did.
And they can only work at certain shows, and that was not okay. To do like that, but at the same time, you have to like. And it's not one of those things you can do that in Japan because it's a very honor-based system over there. If you come in and you try to start stealing things, you're gonna get the error of every single promotion over there.
Oh yeah.
And they're gonna not only are they gonna lock their talent down, they're going to exclude you. Like they're gonna go out, they'll find ways to make sure you get hurt. Not
Next
physically,
thing you know,
but like your business takes.
Venues are saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have the ability to book the show that night."
Yep, they have better relationships with those arenas over there than you do.
Oh,
they're gonna focus on the other companies.
There's stories straight up of venues, to other like when promotions will do a tour, if they're not,
Yep.
If venues are like, we don't really like how you've been treating people. They'll just straight up be like, no, you're not performing here. And they're like, but we've already literally sold tickets to this. And they're like, and? Sue us.
Because there is laws and stuff over there, but it's also an honor-based system over there in how business is done with Japanese and everything.
Yep.
So you they punish you for being dishonorable.
Oh, yeah. You get blacklisted very easily.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
And
also
if you
always come back, but...
Yeah, they have better relationships, and they can get the arenas to blackball you.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you have to have your show in your performance center, like NXT has to do next week, because my college down here is having their Hall of Fame week, and they have Full Sail Live under lockdown, so they're gonna have NXT at the performance center again.
I mean, it'll happen. It'll be cool.
Well, once they started going week to week, this was going to happen regardless because
yeah,
the WWE would just base their recording schedule beforehand around it, so they would do it before or after Hall of Fame and all that. But now, because it's week to week, they'll just have to do that. There was talk about possibly going to a different arena during that week as well, for like a different college in the area.
Mm-hmm.
But they decided to do it at the Performance Center. Probably because Full Sail probably said in their contract, like, yeah, you can't use another school.
No, not around here. Nope.
Due to the contract. We'll allow you to do it at your Performance Center, but we won't allow you to do it at an arena or at another school or something like that, because that means you can then start trying to do it. But who knows?
Or another soundstage.
But also, it makes it a little bit easier if they do it at the Performance Center, because they don't have to move their trucks there.
Nope.
Everything's already there. They can just set up how they want, bring in a few people in for the in to watch, and you have it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you today. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of AEW Revolution. Give us your rating for the show, and heck, give us your star rating for each matchup while you're at it.
If you're into doing that. I mean, that's cool. If you're not, it's cool. I don't care.
No. You comment, you better do this. No.
Wow. You're making demands of the people making comments now. Okay.
And if you feel up to it and you actually want to support it, unlike we do, and apparently like WWE doesn't want to, give your predictions for what's the show again? Oh yeah, Elimination Chamber. I kind of forgot the name already.
Elimination Chamber.
So it's just let us know down what you thought of there. We did our predictions. We're not saying them because we obviously don't give a shit. Because WWE doesn't give a shit. But since you're going to be heading down to that comment section, be sure to hit that thumbs up.
Yep. There it is. Last week I just used a picture of Orange Cassidy giving the thumbs up. That's all I'm going to do again this week.
While you're there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring that bell.
Ding, ding!
And make sure you hit and turn on all notifications so you know when all of Zop Gaming goes live.
Yes, like tomorrow's show.
But ignore the Slamming Saturdays one.
No, you do not ignore Slamming Saturdays because we've got an amazing 4-match card for you tomorrow. We've got Chowder Championship. Gazan will be trying for the 4th time in a row winning that championship. We've got a tag team action between Anime Senshi and the tag team of Biff Striker and TJ Ghost. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman of the board is getting in the ring again. We've got singles action. The Llama will be taking on Slender and the Slender Man. And the champion, PJ DeSilvio, will be giving Vaughn a chance at the New England Wrestling Alliance Championship in a match that if Vaughn wins, he'll be added to the match at Blood Feud 3, Return of the Feud, which is going to be in 1 week, ladies and gentlemen. Next pay-per-view, 1 week.
Adam, you do realize you call the show Slamming Saturdays, but it's on a Sunday, right?
Look, we registered the name before we were able to actually secure the time slot. Look, you got to talk with the guys who do the uploading. Go ahead and get back with them. You know, I've heard that the guy who runs runs the Zop Gaming channel, kind of a dick. I've heard that.
I know.
I've also heard that he's got a terrible face.
I know. I can vouch for it. I'm looking at it, and my eyes want to rip them out.
Why do you have a picture of that dude on your computer? It's so weird that you would have that.